Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who have been subscribed to me for a while, you know that I try to limit the amount of twin flame soulmate readings that I do because I just want us all to be focused on our own evolution, our own healing. And sometimes when we focus too much on our twin flame or soulmate, it can kind of, distract us from our own healing journey. But there are some times where these readings can be very beneficial if you feel stuck, if you feel confused, or if you're just in need of comfort, because these twin flame journey situations, they can be quite painful. And sometimes we just need, comforting words. So that's why I feel called to do this reading today. And we are also in the Mercury retrograde right now. It's about to end, but we still are going to be in the shadow period for a couple of weeks. So as you all may know, when we're in a Mercury retrograde, that usually means that the past is coming back. That's why people always say they're afraid of the Mercury retrograde. Oh, your ex is going to come back. People always talk about this online. And that is true. The Mercury retrograde is a time for reflection of the past, to really reflect on things that have taken place in the past. It's a time where people can get very triggered, like, oh, I thought I was over this situation, and suddenly I'm thinking about it. So yeah, that could be why I feel called to do this reading. For some of you, you could have felt the urge to reach out to your twin flame or your soulmate, or they could have felt the urge to reach out to you, or overall you're just feeling triggered about, what took place between you in the past. And as you can see by the title of this video, we're going to be focusing specifically on twin flame and soulmate situations that had third-party interference, because when I was meditating before I pulled cards, that's what was coming through to me, that a lot of you, like, you're specifically triggered about a third energy that came into your twin flame or soulmate situation, and you feel like kind of took that person away from you. And third party interference, it doesn't just have to be romantic. Like, that's a misconception that I see a lot. It doesn't just mean, oh, my twin flame chose someone else romantically over me, or they got married to someone else. It can definitely be that, but third party interference can be anything, literally. Like, it could be your twin flame got offered a job in another country, and so they're far away from you. That's the third party interference would be their career, right? Or it could be that your twin flame has like a controlling family, like a controlling mother or controlling father, and that parent came in between you. That would be a third party interference. Your twin could struggle with like substance abuse, that the substances that they use could be third party interference. You see what I'm saying? So this third party, it doesn't just have to be romantic. And I did write a thread on Twitter a while ago. I would have to find it, but I feel like I need to turn it into a full video. And I wrote a thread about third parties and why they show up in these types of connections, and it's usually because, the connection is imbalanced in some way. There's something that is off about the connection, meaning that there's issues or there's problems, and you're not getting to the root of it. You're not solving it. It's like you're going in circles with this person. So what will happen is that a third party will manifest into your relationship, and now you have to deal with this problem head on. You can no longer stay stuck in a cycle with this person. You have to actually make the decision to part ways now, or you have to make the decision to actually fix whatever is going on. There could be no more going in a toxic cycle with this person, you see? And so that usually is what ends up happening. The third energy will appear, and you will suddenly find yourself in separation, because it's like you couldn't get to the root of the problem. You couldn't solve it. And this third party came, and like everything just kind of blew up from there. There are rare instances as well where the third energy comes in and the twin flames or the soulmates are able to work through it. But that is kind of rare. From what I was getting from my guides, what I was seeing was that it usually ends up in separation, and both people have to evolve separately when a third party shows up. So yeah, that's the purpose of the third parties showing up. Even though it is extremely painful, there had to have been an imbalance within your connection that needed to be resolved. And, that's probably why you ended up in separation with this person. So yeah, that's what I was just wanted to share, what I was getting in meditation before I pull cards. So let's go ahead and get into the messages. So we're going to start with your energy first. What I was getting from your energy is that you feel like you lost your voice. You feel like you are not able to talk to this person or express your feelings. And again, this could be what's happening right now, or this could be what happened in the past. So, just take it as it resonates. It's the timeline is a little bit fuzzy to me. So this could be past or present, but what I was getting is that this third party interference, or whatever this third party energy was, it made it so that you can no longer express yourself to your twin flame or your soulmate. So it could literally be that you no longer can speak to them because of this third party interference, or you no longer trust them because of this third party interference. So whatever it is, you feel like they took your voice from you. And what I was hearing from spirit is that that's why you are definitely needing to make sure that you are, leaning on your soul tribe, like your friends who are like-minded, who support you. You could even, seek out support online, because what I was feeling from your energy is that there's a lot of repressed energy surrounding this situation, and a lot of just stuck feelings because you are not able to express them to this person. You need to express them somewhere. So expressing them to people who understand, to your soul tribe, who also are going through something like this, can be very beneficial for you. Also, if you are able to channel that pain or those feelings into something creative, then that will be something that's good for you as well. Because what I was seeing was literally the Little Mermaid, and you know how in the Little Mermaid, the movie, she gives her voice to the sea witch Ursula, right? And she can't speak to her prince now, like she doesn't have a voice. That's literally what I was seeing for you. It's like you are just not able to express yourself, and you feel like this third party is to blame. And like I said, you're needing to find somewhere to put those feelings, somewhere to put those emotions, like into something creative, like writing a book, creating a song, creating a painting. It's like you're needing to put those emotions somewhere, and you're needing to also invest your energy into a support system where you can help uplift each other, and you can help share and express those emotions. I was also feeling that you are being granted a new opportunity, that you're being granted like a fresh start from the universe, and that could be very scary for you. I feel like you've been in the dark night of the soul energy for a very long time. Like, we've all been through this, right? Like, all of us who have experienced the twin flame soulmate journey, we've all been through the dark night of the soul when they first leave us or we leave them, and how devastating it is when we're first in separation. And it really causes us to, start on our spiritual path. That could have been when you first started, experiencing or watching tarot videos. That's when you first started experiencing synchronicities, like repeating numbers and things like that. And when we first really start to do that shadow work, to like really dive deep into ourselves and to start on this healing journey. And so even though it's a painful process, it becomes a comfort to us somehow, right? It somewhat becomes a comfort to us to be in that space. And now I feel like the universe is saying that it's time to apply everything that you learned and to come out of that energy of being in the dark night of the soul. It's like stepping out of the darkness and now into the light. Like, it's time to show up as this evolved version of yourself and apply the things that you learned while you were in this dark night of the soul period. And it can be a little bit, it could be a little bit uncomfortable because you've been in it for so long, and that was, your comfort zone. And also that is somewhat a way of us holding on to our twin flame or soulmate, because when we're in the dark night of the soul, we kind of feel a bit closer to them, right? Because we're grieving them. We are, diving deep into ourselves and learning about ourselves because of what they triggered in us. So when we are about to start a fresh slate, it can be kind of jarring a bit, because it's like you feel like you're really leaving this person behind, or you feel like you're really like moving on to this next chapter, and they're not there. Especially when some of you were hoping that you would be in union or be in reunion. If some of you were hoping that you would be in union or have a reunion with them. I said that kind of quick, by this time. And you were hoping that once you come, like when you were on your way out of the dark night of the soul, that they will be coming with you, So some of you are just kind of disappointed or hesitant to step into this new chapter because you're like, why are they not here? And I completely empathize with you on that. I feel like there's still a lot of growth that needs to be had. There's a lot of experiences that you are still needing in your life, minus this person, is what I'm seeing here, as painful as that is. But yeah, that's what I was seeing for for your energy. I feel like spirit is wanting to really congratulate you for all the work that you have been doing, all of the clearing, the purging, the healing, all of that. Like spirit is wanting you to really, congratulate yourself. It's not an easy journey whatsoever. It's quite painful. Our twin flames or our soulmates, they are the people who can affect us the most emotionally. So it's not easy. It's not a regular relationship where you get left or you leave them and you just dust yourself off and date the next person. That's like, no, absolutely not. It's very difficult to do that. And it's designed to be difficult to do that because spirit is wanting us to really do the healing work on ourselves and not just dive into a new situation. So if you feel like, oh, like I'm just not attracted to anyone else, I don't want to be with anyone else, I feel like I'll never move on. You will be able to, but it's just that you are getting this feeling because spirit does want you to not distract yourself in a new relationship and is wanting you to be by yourself. And you don't have to be by yourself fully. Like I said, you can confide in your soul tribe and spend time with your soul tribe and the people who love you in that aspect. Actually, what I'm hearing is that spirit is wanting you to do that too, because for a lot of us, that is something that we are not good at. For a lot of us, what I was hearing is that we put our all into like a romantic partnership, like a twin flame or soulmate. And sometimes we forget that there are other forms of love outside of that. And your soul tribe and like really bonding with your soul tribe, that's another form of love that has been made available to you by the universe. And I feel like spirit is wanting you to realize that and to, start appreciating that and really investing your time and energy into your soul tribe, because you don't have to walk this path fully alone. There are other forms of love, and I think spirit is wanting you to explore that. So yeah, I do feel like now at this time, there's a reason why you feel like you can't move on, or a reason why you feel like, oh, nothing's going to compare to this person. Spirit is really wanting you to get close to yourself, to get close to your soul tribe, to get close to, your creator, that higher power, whatever you believe in, whether you call this higher power God or the universe, whatever you believe in, it's a good time for you to get close to, that higher power and to build your relationship with that higher power is what I'm seeing here. And I am seeing that your soul tribe, the way that they love you and the way that they show up for you, they are a reflection of how much this higher power really loves you and really wants you to feel loved and to feel valued and to feel respected, So that soul tribe that you have, whether it be in person, like your friends in person, or whether it be online, like you find other people who are on the journey as well, they are reflecting the love and the compassion and the understanding that this higher power has for you, even during times where you might feel alone. Okay, so now we're going to look at your twin flames energy. And I also did pull a card for the third party's energy as well, because when we look at both of their energies, it'll give you some insight into what took place surrounding this third party situation, what lessons are meant to be learned, and things of that sort. So we're going to start with your twin flames energy first. So we have the masquerade card for your twin flame. So it's clear from this card that your twin flame, or your soulmate, I'm just going to say twin flame just to save time, but your twin flame definitely is wearing a mask for sure. They are not showing up as their true authentic selves. I feel like when they were in contact with you or when you were involved with them, you required them to be more authentic. You required them to really face themselves, do the shadow work, take accountability for certain things and things of that sort. And that's because that is what you are currently doing. Like, you're on this journey of self-healing. You're on this journey of enlightenment, of self-love. You're doing your shadow work. You're holding yourself accountable and things of that sort so that you can show up as the healed, authentic version of yourself, right? But your twin flame was not on the same wavelength as you. I feel like your twin flame is someone who represses all of their quote unquote dark emotions or the dark side of themselves. They don't like to do shadow work. They don't like to really face themselves in depth. I feel like they just have a lot of shame when it comes to that process. See, for you, it's easy, right? Well, it's not easy, but you get what I'm saying. This is something that you are willing to do. You're willing to face yourself. You're willing to watch tarot readings. You're willing to read psychology articles and things of that sort, right? because you really want to heal and you really want to grow. But for this person, that's something that's extremely difficult. Like them watching a tarot video about themselves and learning about themselves, that would be like torture for them. Like it will be very, very difficult for them. So I do think that spirit is wanting you to acknowledge that, wanting you to acknowledge that the work that you are doing is miraculous work. Like it's not easy whatsoever. And there are people, including your twin flame, who find this type of work very difficult. And at times you can kind of take yourself for granted or not applaud yourself as much as you should for the work that you are doing. So I feel like that message is coming through from spirit. So yeah, I feel like your twin flame is not facing themselves on a deeper level. They're living a very shallow life. And because this is in reference to the third party energy, I feel like this third party enables them to be able to do that, enables them to not have to really look at themselves on a deeper level. So this could be, like I said in the beginning of the reading, this could be a third party situation with their toxic parents that enable them to not have to really look at themselves, or it could be like a romantic partner who enables them to not really have to dig too deep, like they're having some sort of shallow relationship, things of that sort. Like whatever the situation may be, they are just not required when they're in this third party situation to really do the healing work. And I think they prefer it that way because the healing work honestly scares them. Having to face themselves is very scary. So they would rather keep on this false mask. So then I pulled a card for the third party's energy, and I kid you not, they got the hiding your true self card. This is the third party energy. So the twin flame got the masquerade card. The third party got the hiding your true self card. So they are literally mirroring each other. The third party is someone who also does not want to look at themselves, does not want to do the deep healing work, who is stuck in their own cycle of toxicity, and your twin, they're on the same wavelength pretty much. And it makes sense why you ended up separated from this person and they ended up with the third party, because they are on the same wavelength as the third party. This third party also does not do any inner work. Very shallow, very like everything on the surface. I don't want to dive deep into anything else. Like I want to keep things on the surface. This third party also deals with a lot of shame, literally hiding your true self in the card, dealing with a lot of shame. I feel like this third party, they present themselves to be a certain way is what I'm seeing. But underneath the surface is a lot going on that no one can see. And your twin flame is they're mirroring each other like crazy. It's actually insane that those two cards came out one after another. So when it comes to the overall energy of their relationship or the nature of their relationship, we have the Seven of Swords. So with the Seven of Swords being here, this is literally the card of deceit. You cannot have an authentic connection with anyone if you are not your authentic self. And that's what I'm seeing here. Whether this be, like I said, this could be a twin flame that's in a romantic partnership. This could be a twin flame that is dealing with toxic family, toxic friends. Whatever the case may be, there is no authenticity that is there. There's no self-awareness. There's no diving deep, into things that are going on beneath the surface. So therefore, you can't really have an authentic connection if you're not able to face and be your authentic self. So that's the nature of their relationship. It's deceptive. It's two people hiding themselves, and it's like they're in a relationship or in a connection with their egos. Their egos are in a connection with each other, not their true selves. I'll pull one more. Ten of Cups in the reverse. Wow. No deep emotional fulfillment at all. I feel like there are times with these people that they get along quite well. But there's no, again, it's very surface level. There's no true emotional depth that's there. It's like, oh yeah, there are days where we get along well, but underneath the surface, there's so many issues, there's so many problems. And because they don't like to face themselves, on a deeper level, they can't face the deeper problems. Like, for example, let's say that your twin flame, like their third party interference was like a toxic family member, right? If your twin flame is not facing themselves and your toxic family is not facing themselves, how can they really address the toxicity? They can't. They would just kind of put on a smile and go through their days and act like everything's normal and, be thankful when things are going okay, but they'll always end up in conflict, or they'll always just end up not feeling fully satisfied within the connection because there's no depth to it. They're not connecting with each other on a soul level. And I feel like there is a comfort zone thing involved here as well. Like, they are comfortable with each other, and that plays a role in why things just won't end. Being addicted to your comfort zone as well. And it's comfortable to just continue to hide yourself and to live like this surface level, shallow type connection when there's a bunch of toxicity involved as well. It becomes comfortable. Even though it's not happy, it's comfortable, is what I'm seeing. And I'm sure you see this all the time, like using the example of like a toxic family being the third party interference. I'm sure you see that all the time of people who just refuse to cut ties with their toxic family because it's like they've known them their whole life, and it's a part of just their comfort. They would never want to step outside of that. It's like they're sticking to the status quo. Like, we've all seen it, and there's times where they and their family could get along. You'll get on Facebook and you see them taking a nice picture or whatever, but that behind the scenes is toxic, and nobody is showing up as their true selves, and there's no real depth or true love within these types of dynamics. So what spirit is guiding your twin flame to do is the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Spirit, or their intuition, is guiding them to drop this burden, to learn the lesson that they need to learn and drop this burden. I feel like the lesson that they are meant to learn is that your comfort zone is not always healthy for you, and that sometimes the more painful option is the one that's going to give you the greatest payout. And when I say the most painful option, I mean that the pain of having to face yourself is going to give you the biggest payout. Because I was watching a Till Swan video, right? And she was saying that as human beings, we will always make the decision to choose whatever is less painful to us, right? So this twin flame has chosen this third party situation because they feel like it's less painful. It's more painful for them to face themselves. And I feel like Spirit is trying to get through to them that this more painful option of facing yourself, it will pay off for you more in the long run, rather than staying in these toxic connections that really hinder you from growing, is what I'm seeing. Pull one more. I'm hearing the road less traveled. Like, Spirit wants them to take the road less traveled, and to take the road of really getting to know themselves on a deeper level and doing this healing work. But it's much easier said than done. 9 of Cups here. Yeah, there's a certain stubborn energy to your twin flame as well. I feel like, again, once they're comfortable, they like to stay in that comfort zone, and they're very stubborn at the thought of having to change, especially when it comes to having to change. And then on top of that, you have to face yourself. Like, it's one thing if Spirit is asking them to get out of this connection and move on to another one, right? Maybe they will be a bit stubborn about that, but they're more likely to do so. But when you're telling them, okay, get out of this connection and kind of go into isolation for a bit and really learn yourself and grow, yeah, they're going to be like absolutely not, like really resisting the thought of doing that. See, I feel were kind of forced into doing that, right? You were kind of forced, like a lot of us who are on the twin flame soulmate journey, we were kind of forced into isolation. We were kind of forced into having to face ourselves, It's like that tower moment hits, and then we have to do it. For them, it's like they kind of have an option. Well, for right now, they have an option, I'll say. I don't think they'll have the option permanently. I do think it's going to be a time where they are not going to have the option, and they are going to be forced to have to face themselves. But for right now, they have the option, and they're not taking it because there's this stubborn energy of just wanting things to stay as they are, not wanting to make this change, not wanting to dive deep into their shadows and to really do the work to heal themselves. They feel like I'm balanced, I'm fine, but they're not. It's all on the surface that they're fine, but underneath it all, they're not, is what I'm seeing here. So with the outcome of this, I asked my cards, what will be the outcome if they continue on with this third party? And we have the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles being here, this is them being left out in the cold, or someone being left out in the cold, someone feeling abandoned, things falling apart, and someone, one or the other person or both, feeling very abandoned. I'm going to pull one more card for that. Eight of Wands in reverse. The Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so like I said, this is being forced. This is like hitting rock bottom and being forced to start over. Even though you were being guided to do it all along, it's like the universe has to step in, is what I'm seeing. Like being too stubborn, not wanting to follow your inner guidance, not wanting to follow your intuition, staying in your comfort zone, and so being forced to kind of hit rock bottom and to have to start from scratch, is what I'm seeing here. So I'll pull one more because I want to make sure no other cards are coming out. So that's what I'm seeing for the most part. I feel like this third party interference overall, it was meant to, it's really teaching them or showing them the ways that avoiding who you truly are, or avoiding your authentic self in the long run does absolutely nothing for you but keep you stuck in this shallow comfort zone where there is no growth. And then there's no point in staying stuck in it because the universe will eventually come in and destroy that comfort zone. So you have to face yourself. So you were better off just kind of taking that leap early on instead of using this third party as, you know, a crutch for you not to be able to look at, or for you not to have to look at your true self, you know. And I think in terms of you, you that's listening, I think that this third party, like I said, was really meant to show you how much your twin flame and you were not on the same wavelength, that you were going in one direction and they were going in another, and that when you're not on the same frequency, you're not on the same wavelength, there is going to be a third party that comes in to shine a spotlight on that, because you would have kept being in this cycle with them over and over again. Whatever issues that you had with them, you would have continued to have them over and over again. And the universe pushed you onto this path of growth and evolution, is what I'm seeing here. So we're going to dive deeper into these messages in the extended video. Look more into the third party situation, and then channel some messages from your twin flame's higher self to you to help you move forward on your journey. So the link to that will be in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the extended.